y'all. Waiting for this live to kick in here. I've got an important update for everybody. All right, see some people just starting to hop on. I'm going to wait just a few minutes because I have a really important update on HB 10 for everyone. All right, see people hopping on. Good morning, everyone. All right, Lenore City checking in. All right, I'm just going to wait a couple more seconds. People are popping on. I've not been, oh, somebody's texting. I'm losing sleep, y'all. I ain't going to lie. I'm losing sleep. All right. There's enough folks on here. I'm going to get started. I've got an update on HB 10 for you. All good news. No bad news, I don't think. But we were supposed to be in committee today at noon in the health subcommittee in the House. We're gonna roll the bill for a week, which means we will not discuss the bill this week in committee. We're gonna roll the bill a week and discuss it next week for an up or down vote. And here's why. Here's what that means. I will tell you the amount of people coming out against this bill now in the midnight hour is astonishing. Seemingly almost every state department has had issues with the bill. But here's the thing: it's really simple. I just got off the phone with Representative Brian Terry, who is on the Health Subcommittee and who's the chair of the full committee. And I will tell you, we need Representative Terry's support. And it seems to me after our conversation that we are 100% aligned on the bill, except for one small thing. So the reason we're rolling the bill is because we need to make a small amendment, and you can't do that on the fly, so we can't do that today. The rules don't allow that. So we have to amend the bill this week, and then next week they will hear the amended version of the bill and get to vote it up or down. And that's what we need to do. So here's the amendment. Section 6, we need there. It says that we require that the state cannot create a rule that requires a medical examination, medical treatment, or immunization against someone's religious beliefs. The issue that everyone has is the phrase medical examination. Department of Labor, Department of Corrections, several other departments, and I will tell you, I think they're reasonable concerns. The thought is, well, could the phrase medical examination be construed that people can refuse to get a physical, or a physical abilities test, or refuse to be drug tested, or refuse, these standard evaluations that are required for, police officers, corrections officers, social workers, counselors. It makes sense. I think those concerns should be alleviated with the bill itself, but nonetheless, I get the concern. So the amendment strictly is only to define and clarify what we mean by a medical evaluation. In other words, we need to put language in the bill that makes sure that employers can still require basic physical agilities testing and mental evaluations, whatever they do in the counseling world, so to speak, and standard drug testing. We need to make sure that this bill still allows employers and state entities to do what they've always done in compliance with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission federally. So I think the amendment's reasonable. I've been told by Representative Terry that with that amendment, that he supports everything else in the bill, and has given me all the reason in the world to believe that with that amendment, the bill passes and it satisfies the issues with the bill. Unfortunately, it does mean that we have to roll the bill for a week. But I want to clarify one more thing too, because there's some incredibly vile things being said right now on social media, on both sides. Apparently, I'm nothing more than a crazy anarchist, an anti-vaxxer that is hiding behind the cross of Christ, just trying to kill vaccines for the world. Let me state very clearly what this bill does. There is 6 sections of the bill. Section 1 secures a religious exemption in the juvenile code for parents to opt their children out of vaccines based on the right of conscience and religious beliefs. Section 2 secures religious exemptions in our schools for our school children, for parents to opt out from immunizations based on religious beliefs. Section 3, which I think is part of the contention, but nonetheless allows an employee to opt out of a vaccine or a medical treatment or medical intervention being required by an employer. Guess what? Employers don't have the right to discriminate against their employees on any basis. Already today, employers cannot discriminate against employees on the basis of race, sex, religion, national origin, for a whole host of reasons. That's the law today. This is not a new or novel concept, contrary to what some might believe. We're just having now, because it used to be common sense, post-COVID, it's not common sense anymore. We have to clarify now by law that that also means you can't discriminate against someone because they don't want to get a jab in the arm. Let's just be frank. Or they don't want to have some medical treatment that you suppose that they need. Or that you pretend to be a doctor and can diagnose whether or not they're sick. That's between them and their physician. It's a little thing called HIPAA. Not to mention the ADA that we've just thrown out the window, along with our Constitution, by the way. But nonetheless, Section 3 does one thing: secures religious beliefs and religious liberty. Section 4 secures a religious exemption that someone cannot be mandated medical treatment by a county board of health. Quite simple. Section 5, I'm almost done, deletes a section of our code that has been in Tennessee law since 1905. If 1905 rings a bell for you, that was the year of Jacobson v. Massachusetts. This law was the state's response at the time to smallpox. And it's unconstitutional. Section A of that state statute allows the health department, a health officer, and a physician working for the health office to mandate that you have a vaccine under penalty of law, a Class C misdemeanor, $50 fine or 30 days in jail. Guess what? If that remains in the law, guess what you don't have? A religious exemption, because you can go to jail for refusing to have a vaccine. Section 5 strikes that code to do what? To secure our religious exemptions. After explaining that to Representative Terry, he said, that makes a lot of sense. I support that. Again, it's something that's been in our code since 1905. No one's dealt with it because we just been of the belief that people are nice in Tennessee. No one's actually going to make us do that. But post-COVID, we realized that our government might be willing to do a whole lot of things that it shouldn't if we purport to allow it to. So this section of the code needs to go away, and it will. And Section 6 is a new section of the code that we've added, preventing a state agency from making a rule forcing you to get a medical treatment or an immunization or a medical evaluation against your religious beliefs or rights of conscience. And that's the part we need to amend to define what we mean by medical evaluation. So, all this bill purports to do, contrary to what some representatives are telling you online, is to secure our religious exemptions and to secure our rights of conscience, guaranteed to us, by the way, by Article 1, Section 3 of the Constitution of the state of Tennessee. And no, we are not hiding behind the cross of Christ. We are not anarchists and anti-vaxxers. We want the General Assembly in the state of Tennessee to restrict its authority to only that which we the people have given it by the Constitution of this state. And that's all this bill asks you to do. Protect our rights of conscience. Protect our right to reject medical treatment based on religious beliefs. It's that simple. So bear with us. We're going to roll the bill for a week. A little request from me. You can lay off the phone calls for now. Again, I will congratulate you. These people, in fact, my understanding is the chairman asked Representative Reedy, whoever is behind all these phone calls, can you please ask him just to slow down a little bit? So you guys are making noise. I love you. You're amazing. You're being heard. Thank you for standing with us. Thank you. We can do this together. We really, really can. So, but we've got a week. They know where we stand. give it till next Monday, and you can light up the phones again. But give it a rest. Let us amend this bill, and pray with us that next week, probably on Tuesday, that we get this bill passed after this small amendment. Cooler heads will prevail, and we'll get this done in both the House and the Senate. So thank you for fighting with us. God bless you. Love you. Stay strong. All right. Bye-bye.